Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. Guys, in this video I'm going to tell you that if you are not a prepper, I would almost promise and guarantee you by the first of next year on the pagan Roman calendar, you will be a prepper. There is so much going on in this nation and the world right now that it's just unreal. But especially in America, we are no doubt in my mind at this point under judgment. The things with all the storms, the ports are closing down. Certain places that like for example in Asheville, just north of Asheville, I think it's Spring City, I think it is Springcade or something like that, is the one place in the world that makes the stuff for the crucibles that the silicon work is done to go into like photovoltaic modules and things like that. So like by next year you may not even see photovoltaic modules being manufactured across the country for a while because of the one place in the world that makes the component to help make that is not available. It's cut off from the world. And I'm telling you, there is a lot of things changing in this world as we speak. And my heart goes out to the folks just over the hill from me in Newport, and then from the folks that's in Western North Carolina. Oh my goodness, I mean the devastation is just beyond measure. I'm gonna see what I can do about helping some guys on getting some water over there here this week. I'm gonna see if I can't wrangle something up about that. We can maybe do a drop-off on the drop-off location before we head out of town to Texas, and help support that on the way out. But I tell you, it's just bad, and I hate it so bad for so many people suffering right now. And most high y'all hope is with those that have been lost, that they can be found, you know, because there's so many people missing. It's just bad, guys. But I'll tell you this, I say all that to say this, whether it's a mountain city that got flooded almost 3,000 feet up in the sky, I believe Asheville's like 2,400 feet above sea level or something like that, got destroyed from a hurricane all the way inside on this continent, right? To the ports closing down, to economic instability worldwide and domestic, to the elections, to civil strife that will come no matter who's elected. People's gonna be upset. We're at a bad spot, and I'm telling you, if you ain't a prepper, you better learn to be one quick. You better get into homesteading. I want to get so much finished on my homestead ASAP, because things are going to twist and turn so fast soon. I don't think people's going to be able to keep up, because I've barely been able to keep up since 2020 to 2024. Things have really escalated, and I think they're going to double up escalation beyond what they are right now, especially with AI and robots and the Terminator robots and all the crazy stuff that's being manufactured out there, and the drones that they're testing over in Ukraine to kill everybody. I mean, like, it's getting wild out here. And if you ain't seeing it, then you absolutely are asleep at the wheel or just a complete idiot. I mean, that's all there is to it, because I just don't see how people don't see. Even if I was an ungodly person at this point, I mean, I would at least see some of this going on and be like, man, this give me some poise to do something, right? And I don't know, you know, the most terrifying part of this, and I don't mean to scare anybody, but I mean, I would rather scare you today and you take action, and then than to go back to slumber and then it hit you like a brick upside a glass building, is that if you're not a prepper today might be a good day to start. Whether it's buy a few extra canned beans at the store, or get a backup power pack for your house to keep your refrigerator up and some panels, just simple stuff, because it is going to get straight wild. I don't think people have any indication in their mind. I can't even fathom in my mind just how bad it's going to get. Just off the storm alone, the things that I've seen go on, like just beyond measure for catastrophe on the level I would expect. And if you're not a prepper and you want to be one, you better get going, because I worry two things. Is one, people that don't get prepared, they're definitely going to perish in the next couple years, if it even drags that long. If people don't get some kind of measure of preparedness, they're already dead and don't even know. The second thing is that people that may start preparing today, I don't even know if it's too late at this point. I almost feel like it's too late. I almost feel like I wake up with this uncertainty and this anxiety each day that it's like everything you done, bro, that's all you got now. Hey, that just any day past today is a blessing, and I just feel like that repetitively every day, resetting, and it just, I don't know, there's this change in my spirit. It started in the winter, like going into 2024. I know, like the turn of the pagan year there, like on the pagan Roman calendar, not on the scriptural calendar, but on the pagan Roman calendar, turn of the year, I was sitting there in the cold in my office desk at work, managing, doing my management job at the time, and I was just like, man, I was like, something just don't feel right. And I have not felt right since then. And every day there's this overwhelming anxiety to get prepared. And I'm telling you, people that is not a prepper, you better make serious considerations today if you want to be one of these people that have to bow down to the New World Order, take the mark of the beast, comply, perish, be walked on, whatever, when a time comes, because the mechanisms, the matrix, the control measures are being put in place. And especially with the Pact for, what was that? What was that thing I just shared the other day? I'll put a link in the video description below. I can't, the Pact for the Future or something like that, that the New World Order, I call the United Nations the New World Order, just FYI, and America, I feel like they're, hand in hand. But they ratified that or signed it into law or whatever the other day, voted on it. And I just, inside that's your digital ID thing, your VACCINE metrics thing for your scan thing on your phone, I guess, and all this crap. There's just all this crap for the New World Order in it. And so, I don't know what more to say. Like the stuff that, people have called people conspiracy theorists over the years, like they're not wrong at this point. Like from chemtrails being sprayed in the sky, that's been published, documented, to, all the stuff that people said about, the government doing this, government doing that. It's all out there to be seen now. They're promoting it for you to see it at this point. So, if you ain't prepared and you ain't wanting to get prepared, especially if you live in the southeast or the east of the U.S. after you just seen this hurricane come through, I don't know what's wrong with you. I seriously don't know what's wrong with my heart goes out to these people. Like I said, I'm gonna do my best to do something to help out this week too, in some measure, to help relieve the pain. It's just nuts, man. I don't really, honest to goodness, know what to say to people anymore. I find myself constantly, last thing I'd say in this quick video today, guys, is I just constantly find myself at a loss for words, because every time I turn around, I'm like, there's calamity on calamity. Like they knocked down, what was the Baltimore Bridge, and I'm like, oh, that's going to affect the shipping industry. And then the next thing it's like, oh, well, everything from Boeing airline employees going on strike to the ports going on strike. So I'm like, man, we ain't manufacturing nothing. We ain't shipping nothing in or out. We are just about to, see, that what it is like I said about in a video a while back about that, I feel like America's sustained a gunshot wound, and people, we're in that space where, the shock hasn't really kicked in yet, right? And then when it does, it's going to be like, dang, there ain't no baby food on the shelf. Dang, there ain't no meat in the cooler at the store. Dang, there ain't no water on the shelf. It's bad, guys. And we are not like the other thing is the second economic depression. My grandmother literally stood maybe 100 feet from me in that basement right there when I was 16-ish, maybe even younger, and she told me, looked me in the eye and told me that we were making relish. We were making and canning relish, and she told me, she said that she wouldn't live to see the next depression, but I would. And here it is. It's at the gates. And these, the issue with that is long ago, whenever things got imported and stuff, there were sailing ships, right? And there ain't no more sailboats. So when the gas the gas stops getting flow and the boats can't run no more, there ain't no more stuff move. When the power goes off, they ain't got a wood stove in people's houses nowadays. That was a common staple. Not even 100 years ago now, maybe even 20, 30 years ago, it's a common staple in a home, and it ain't anymore. A whale is not a common staple for a home anymore. Just the simplest of things, water, heat, power, these things, they're just going to just be gone. And being able to just go hunt in the woods anymore. There's people everywhere. There's one, two, they're adding to that one, but I'll count that as one whole unit. 3. There's and there's one more of that. There's 4 subdivisions around this farm now. This part behind me is my son's now. And I tell him he's the owner of Yellowstone because he's the last farm in the valley. There's everybody all around him anymore. And I just expect the golden horde to come over the hill to want to take the cows when the time comes. And it's okay, so you just shoot everything in the field, okay? You don't know how to process it. You don't know how to the husbandry of cattle, so you don't know how to keep them producing. So your solution is, I'm starving to death, so I'll just kill everything inside and eat it. Okay, good for you. Let's run with that. How's that going to work out for you, bro? Because in a couple weeks, when there's nothing left anywhere, not a vegetable in the ground, not a walking livestock or a deer in the woods, like, you're going to starve to death and die. And so I'm telling you, it's a whole different paradigm that we're dealing with this second time around. And I just don't think people understand that the more we've moved toward modernization, the more that, you know, if you have to bushcraft, homestead to get by, we're in Mad Max mode. I mean, when this thing finally pops off, let me tell you, like, my world that I will be living in daily, in my mind, even if it ain't like that, even if it's unicorns and rainbows and narwhals and all these little, you know, glittery stars and all that in people's mind, Luke will be living in Mad Max mode, because I know what's coming. I don't even have to say I know what's coming. I see what's coming. I feel what's coming. And we're all going to feel it intensely in 2025, guys. You just wait. But I'm going to tell you, the last thing I just say on this altogether, just all-encompassing, is that if you ain't a prepper and you've never been a prepper, let me tell you, don't worry about these stigmas, people making fun of you. I've been doing this now since 2009. I don't care about people's feelings, their emotions, all that stuff. Man, I'm going to do what I'm going to do to take care of myself and my family, whatever it takes. All the way up to not breaking the Torah. That's my cut point right there. But, man, you better figure it out if you're in or out, because, I mean, it is, the enemy's at the gates, and you better pick up a sword and get ready to man the walls, all I can tell you, because it is like, that I guess, you know, Messiah said, you know, talked about the oil and the lamps, and those that were ready went into the bride chamber, right, you know, in the wedding chamber. And it's like, boy, you better keep them oil lamps oiled up and trimmed, because it's about to get just completely bad. And I just feel this massive urgency to go back over my list of things to do and just absolutely bullet point, get it done. Extra water, extra power, add more panels, add more batteries, make sure the well pump's as pristine running as possible, make sure rain catchment's in place and built by spring. Like, I just have all this checklist stuff, and I just feel this overwhelming, like, brick and anxiety on my chest to get it done. And I'm like, man, I have been responsible, y'all willing. I have tried to do these things. I mean, money is always a factor for all of us, right? Time, money, and know-how. Those are the 3 points of the triangle you have to overcome. But I mean, man, this is it, guys. So I'll tell you, make sure, get your act together, and if you ain't a prepper, you better get going right now, because this is game time. So guys, as always, till we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope Most High Yah baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua's name.